back to the series on punctuation marks, and you're watching Siddharth Satia and Phoenix Dreams. This is Speak Right with Sid, episode 17. We've spoken about the 6 punctuation marks so far, the period, a full stop, comma, semicolon, colon, question mark and exclamation mark. We'll move forward today. There are 4 more left. So first and foremost, we'll talk about the dash or the hyphen. Now, there are various ways in which this can be used. One way is when you are expressing a range of something. Now, quite a few times the dash or the hyphen both are more written punctuation marks. They aren't really used while speaking because they don't have a specific sound. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. When you're talking about a dash as a range of something, a time period, for example, somebody's lifespan. Somebody lived from the year 1920 to the year 1990. When you write it, you'll write 1920 dash 1990 or just 90. So it expresses a range. When you have a meeting scheduled with somebody, the meeting is from 1600 hours to 1700 hours, you write 1600-1700. So one dash is when you want to express a range and normally with numbers. Another way of using a dash is when you want to make a point, when you want to express something, draw someone's attention to something, and it is used replaceably by a comma. If you want to create a higher effect than a comma, you can use a longer dash or a hyphen. So let's say you were saying to someone, I already told you, no. So it sounds like a comma, but when you write it, instead of writing the comma, what you do is you would write, I already told you, put a dash, no. So you're stressing the word no, you're creating that pause before the no. So when you write it, you write the dash when you're expressing something. So that's the second use of the dash or the hyphen. It is also a minus sign in mathematics. So mathematically speaking, it's a symbol subtraction. Another use of that is also when you are combining multiple words to make one word, a compound word. Well-worn shoes. Well and worn are 2 words on their own. But if you want to talk about shoes that have been used much too often, you would call them well-worn. But there will be a small hyphen. No space in between, well-worn together with just a hyphen in between. So it is also used to join 2 words together to create a new compound word. So that's the use of a dash or a hyphen. The next thing we'll talk about is the apostrophe. That's a very interesting punctuation mark, very useful and often misunderstood because there are multiple uses of an apostrophe. The most common use that everybody seems to be aware of is when an apostrophe is used to express belonging or possession of something. When something belongs to me, I will use an apostrophe. Let's say this chair, for example, and if I'm using my name, I will say this is Siddharth's chair with an apostrophe followed by a S to express possession or belonging of the chair to Siddharth. So now there's one thing to remember, whenever there are singulars and plurals, the apostrophe's position changes. So if I'm talking about the boy's chair, I will say the boy, apostrophe S, chair. Now that one chair belongs to a plural, multiple boys, so it belongs to all the boys, B-O-Y-S. So the apostrophe will be used. However, in this case, because there already is an S in the word boys, the apostrophe will follow the S. It will come after the S and there will not be another S after that. It will not be this is the boys' chair. It will be the boys' chair. It will sound as if it's a plural, but while you write it, you will put an apostrophe in the end to express that chair belongs to all the boys. So with plurals, the apostrophe comes after the S because there already is a S in that name, in that word, right? So that's one use of the apostrophe. The second use of the apostrophe is when you are contracting words, when you are combining bigger words to make one smaller word, often used with not. So if it's is not, it contracts to isn't. So is not, the N comes closer to the is, the O disappears, is replaced by the apostrophe and is followed by the T. So 2 words, is not contracts to isn't. Similarly, for quite a few of the negative words, was not is wasn't, have not is haven't. So these are the contractions that an apostrophe assists in. Right. Another use of apostrophe is when you have small cases and you want to use multiples of that. There are 2 D's in my name, S-I-D-D. So 2 D's, I will say that with a D apostrophe if I have to write it. So it doesn't really show belonging. It can, in certain cases, or numbers, show plurals of single letters or numbers. There are 7 sevens in my telephone number, so 7 sevens will have an apostrophe s. So to express plurals in some rare cases, the apostrophe is used. Right? The apostrophe symbol looks like a comma, except that instead of being below the letter, it is on top of the letter. So the position changed. Otherwise, it's exactly like a comma. Right? Okay, so we'll stop here. We've spoken today about the hyphen or the dash and the apostrophe. There are 2 more left, like I mentioned, and we'll come back with those 2 next Saturday. Thank you very much till then for your likes, shares and subscribes. Please keep watching Phoenix Dreams, and if you like what you're watching, please share. Until next time.